How they got it?
No, man.
Because just like you say, the white folks got us poison out here.
Jerusalem, man. That was where Adam was in the Garden of Eden. That's why the scripture is written. That's the mother of us all.
Okay, I can agree with that because we do. Okay, in that factor, okay, I agree with that. In that factor, when I bring it back to say that all the Bible happenings took place in Africa, right or wrong. So everything.
You ever heard of the Fertile Crescent?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Now we're kind of calm.
We need a map, man. Yeah, we're gonna take you to school today.
Hey, I could put it up on my try to put it up. You can show it.
That's the track where the journey that Abraham took from he was in Ur the Chaldees up to Haran down into Canaan, and then he went on into Egypt and then back to the land of Canaan. So that path that he took, it made like an arc or a crescent.
Right on.
And they call that the Fertile Crescent.
Okay.
So, and that's right there in the Middle Eastern area. That's where the hub of life was at that time. That's why they called it the Fertile Crescent. That's where the mass, it was people here and there, but the masses of the population was concentrated right in the Middle East.
Fertile Crescent.
Right on. Now I want to address something about the scripture we had wrote in Genesis. That you had read in Genesis. That it did say that he gave us everything, right? All the plants, right? That yield seed per se, right? Right or wrong? Now, anything that's here and that people find was already here, right or wrong?
What intent did he tell you to use it for, though?
If you want to show it,
just right.
What is your meat?
So you using that to support smoking weed, right?
No, not necessarily.
Explain your point.
You can move it. You know how to make it bigger. You know, or smaller, however you want to do it.
Because the scriptures tell you not to defile your temple. What is smoke?
What is smoke?
It's a toxin.
Okay.
Why would you be inhaling a toxin?
That's vice versa goes for a lot in this world. Right.
See, you avoiding the question.
No, I'm not avoiding the question. I'm speaking in general.
You don't eat pork. Why?
Because it's a nasty ass animal. It's unkosher.
It's something that shouldn't go on your body, right?
True.
Same thing as smoke.
That's food.
That's right.
That's something that goes into me and goes through my digestive system.
Where you think that smoke going? Well, man, just so you can the Fertile Crescent, man.
Oh yeah, it's right in my ear.
Yeah, this the land where the journey that Abraham took, which was in the Mesopotamia. That's where the majority of life was, in the Mesopotamia region, and he traveled. He went up to Haran. He had people up there. Then he came down into Africa. He went down to Canaan and then Egypt.
I'm gonna say one thing. Now, I love the Bible. I respect the Bible, but I also do feel like it's tainted too, to a certain extent.
No, back on that. But what you just said, the pork goes through your digestive system, right? And that's how it defiles you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So where does the smoke go?
Help.
I beg your pardon?
It helps me. It goes to my body.
Exactly. It's no different from eating something defiled. Smoking something, that shit goes into your bloodstream, through your lungs, go into your lungs, into your blood, and all through your body. And it fucks up your head, man. It goes into your brain, so it alters your sense of reality.
Now, let me ask you, do you think that's important to everybody?
That's how this with anybody who smokes.
Honestly,
No. I'm asking you, what do you think happens when you smoke?
I believe that it depends. It depends on the person. Now, okay, I'm going to go 50-50 on that because there's people out here who shouldn't have be told, and it really does mess them up and have them all the way out and just all the way.
It make you susceptible to them demons.
Yeah, that's right. Told, but also opens your mind to them demons too. And if you strong and you got some willpower and you got some God on your side.
Man, we all blew the herb, man. You ain't telling us new. We blew herb. We pop. How old are you?
I'm 25.
I bet this man, I ain't gonna say his age, but he the oldest brother out here. I'm next under him. I'm older than you.
I seen him.
This brother older than you. We probably anyway. That fucks you up. I can tell you that off. It fucks his mind up.
Blue
Go ahead,
cause just real quick, I was in that mind frame. This brother can testify. You couldn't have never told me I'd take no weed from my mind frame. But when the Most High opened up, from my lips, man, but when the Most High opened up my mind, I see now I was in a dumbass mind frame when I was high, man. I thought I was getting deep and I was understanding shit when I didn't know a goddamn thing. And then when I was getting high and thinking I was getting on another level, I was doing nothing but wickedness, man. When I was getting high, I wanted to go get in the studio. I wanted to go rap. I wanted to go, the little research I did do on madness, I couldn't do. You know what I couldn't do when I was high? Well, one time I did try to open up the scriptures, I couldn't understand them, so I sat it back down and went right back into wickedness.
I started
you ain't got no
winging it.
power over a demon, man.
Yeah.
You see, you've been deceived already. And you know how we can tell how that weed fuck up your head? Cause you out here, man, springtime with a goddamn stocking cap on with dreads.
Cool,
Why you got on a t-shirt if it's so cool?
Ain't nothing.
But look,
feel it.
but I mean, that's it.
gotta feel it.
No, man, I ain't got to feel it, man.
It's swag. I'm chilling right now.
But I mean,
I'm chilling.
see,
Wow.
well, it
You
just
got
get
long
you
sleeves
bugged
on.
out. Yeah, cause I work and I had metal shavings all in this shirt. That's why I wear long sleeves.
He got to be
Okay, you know
reborn. He don't want to be reborn again.
right.
Been reborn, homie.
Right.
See,
No, I ain't trying to make fun of you, but I'm showing how that shit bugs you out, man. You think you swagged
You
out.
say I got a stocking cap on.
And
That's
it's
why
right.
we fuck with me. You got a long sleeve.
Well, he ain't a Rastafarian. That show you right there that
Right.
you ain't right. I ain't saying it's because of the weed, but if you're on the Rastafarian doctrine, then you bugged out. Anybody that is.
Now that hairstyle like that, the dreads, how often do you wash them dreads? Be honest.
When I get it done, when I do it myself, I do it probably every 3 months
Yeah, see,
myself.
that's against the law. You say you believe in the word, somewhat, or however, that's against the law. So a man not supposed to have long hair.
What?
Right.
No, a man not supposed to cut his hair, make cut it to his flesh or baldness to his face.
No,
I'm saying.
no. See, you need somebody to interpret the scriptures to you correctly,
No, a
man.
man not supposed to have a bald head.
That's right too. You supposed to have hair on your head, but it shouldn't be long
I
and
get it.
hanging down. Yeah, you ain't supposed
I
to
get
shave
it.
your head bald, and you ain't supposed to let it grow long either. But you can have, like you read about Samson. A lot of y'all Rastafarians like to go to Samson. He had cornrows, not dreads. Cornrows the same thing. You could take them down and watch that shit. And dreads, you can't watch that shit every day, man. We had a brother in the camp. He used to have dreads, man. He could tell you himself. He said when he finally took that shit out, his scalp was all fucked up, man, because there wasn't no way to watch this shit every day.
Your scalp ain't breathing.
Yeah, that's probably him.
I got the law,
I want to know this not
man.
meant for me.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
See, that's a shame to you to have long
Bring
hair.
that back, read that again.
Doth not even nature teach itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
Now, what I get from that
That's a
is-
shame
I
unto
get-
you.
What I get from that is, I
It don't
get.
matter what you get from it.
It's one truth.
It's the,
Oh, read the words
what
again.
did the scripture
read,
say?
Okay, read the words again. Slowly
again.
and read and pronounce every
1
word.
Corinthians 11 and 14.
And let me say this to the brothers out there, man. This is where our people get tripped up in the scriptures, man. Want to interpret it for themselves, man. According to their bugged out, knowledge, man.
You got a proud spirit on you, man.
Go ahead, read.
But read it for them.
1 Corinthians 11 and 14. Doth not even nature itself teach
It
you?
does not let.
Does not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
Does not even nature teach you. Nature teach you that, man. Now, like I said, what I get from that is that nature teach. Don't let nature teach you that a man ain't supposed to have long hair.
No, that ain't even what the scripture
Jake
said,
bugged
man.
out.
No, I ain't bugged out.
Yeah, your dreads might be too
Man,
tight,
you being
bro.
wicked right now.
Your
man.
dreads might be too
What
tight.
you got? What you
No,
need to
I'm
do is
just
just
like
listen.
that.
You just need to listen. But you
Right.
ain't gonna listen though. These brothers teaching. You just
See,
need to
that's
sit back
strong
and
drink,
listen.
man. That's strong drink.
This is Ecclesiastes 5 and 1.
I ain't never.
Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
That's
And
right.
you doing an evil thing by opening your mouth. And by opening your mouth, you're showing yourself to be a fool because you don't know what you're talking about, man. You speaking out your heart. In other words, you're speaking out your mind, and your mind is polluted, and you bugged out, man.
I know what I'm talking about.
Did you read give the sacrifice of fools?
Yeah.
In that same verse?
Yeah. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools.
That's right. What's the sacrifice of a fool, man? Speaking foolish shit that you can't back up. It's just out of your heart, like the brother's saying. It's just things that you came up, an ideology that you came up with to justify your wickedness. That's all it is.
My wickedness?
Right. You come out here trying to justify smoking weed. And we tell you having long hair is wicked. You try to justify that, and how?
Well,
Not in the scriptures. You coming out your heart. The scripture tell you. We just read it.
No,
the scripture.
you.
Hey, we bringing what the scripture
Hey,
say.
get Isaiah
That's all it is.
53.
It's not me that's saying it. I'm telling you what thus said the Lord according to his word. Now, what give me the authority to do that? The Lord did. He gave me the authority to do that.
Yeah, he do. He do.
That's
he tell you, go out and preach.
And give me right quick for him Isaiah 58:1.
But at the same time,
you right there.
the same way we
you
talking
asked the
about
question.
what y'all read out of.
This what gives me authority.
Isaiah 58:1. Cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
So it's saying cry loud, spare not, meaning we got to let you know your wickedness. We can't have respect of persons. We can't say, well, you know, I like this dude, you know, or this my mama. No, we can't spare nobody. We got to come with the truth.
I feel that.
But go ahead, hold on, this is the rest of it.
And show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Lord said to show his people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. That's a sin to have dreads. That's a sin to smoke herb. So we got an obligation to let you know this. And that's all it is to it, man. What give me the authority? This word give me the authority.
If I keep getting sin, if I keep sinning,
It's Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord.
And anybody who buck up against this word, we got the right to condemn them. That's our heritage. That's the heritage of the elect of the Lord, man. Don't you know in the last days the prophets from all times been set up to rebuke, man. Set up to tell people their wickedness. And what you were saying a while ago?
I'm just listening.
But that's a good.
okay.
That's a good thing. See, even whether he get it or not.
But right, all the prophets from the beginning of time, man, even going back to Adam in the garden, man. How did Adam know he was going off? How did he know that? He heard the voice of the Lord walking in the cool of the day. That voice of the Lord was prophets prophesying to him, man. Adam wasn't the only man on the earth. That just to give you, when you go in the second chapter of Genesis, it's just giving you an account of one man. But there was many people on earth, just like you read.
Say, can you back that up?
When you read Jeremiah, it's in the scriptures, right?
I mean, I'm listening.
When you go into
right there.
Jeremiah, it's giving you an account of Jeremiah. It ain't meaning that Jeremiah was the only man in the earth, but it does mention other people because he went out to prophesy to other people. But I'm saying when you read in Genesis, give him Genesis 5, brother.
Come.
Start at the top.
Genesis chapter 5, verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him.
And people don't know what that means. Man was created in the Lord's likeness, meaning the Lord gave him laws, statutes, and commandments. For what? To rule and judge over the earth. Now he got those laws, statutes, and commandments to judge. That means it had to be some people here to judge. Now you read the account in Genesis. The Lord put Adam over everything. So he had to be given the law to know how to govern everything. So go ahead, brother. We're going to get to the point of it.
Genesis 5 and 2.
You see, these are reprobates right here. walking around want to be faggots, homosexuals. That's a reprobate mind. Why? Because they not in the image of the Father. Because they don't know his word. They not created in his image. That ain't talking about how a physical stature of a man, how a man looks. It's talking about a mindset, a spiritual mindset. Go ahead, Doc.
Genesis 5:2, man and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam.
He blessed them and called their name Adam. So meaning that was more than one Adam.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
In the day when they were created. And
Right.
Adam,
So go ahead, brother.
and Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, and after his image, and called his name Set.
Jump back to 1
Yeah.
and about 21. So the Lord created male and female and called their name Adam. And it was more than one male and one female, because like the brother's getting ready to read, all life came forth of the waters. So that
1 and 21.
it should be around the 21st verse.
I got you. Yeah, 20. Genesis 1 and 20. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. Keep going.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
brother.
And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day. And God said, let the earth bring forth a living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And the Lord made the beast of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And
So, okay, hold it right there. So going back, the Lord said, let the waters bring forth abundantly all the moving creatures that had life. Is not man a moving creature? Because like the scripture where the brother stopped at, they think this is where the Lord created man. And it's not. Man was already created. What the Lord is saying here is, read it out.
this is Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them select.
It's not saying let us now make man. It's saying